What technique have you found most useful to overcome self-limiting beliefs? That's a great question. I have a lot of self-limiting beliefs, believe it or not. I've certainly created a lot of stuff, but I was actually a little nervous to do live YouTube Q&As like this, and I wanted to do something like this for quite a while before I actually did. And you could say that's stupid because why wouldn't you? It's easy, it's free. You got people here who want to hear what you have to say, and you know your stuff. But here's the thing: as you may have guessed by now, I'm not the most tech savvy person. Even though I'm young, I've always been more on the humanities side of things. So that's why I got into LSAT related stuff. It's not like I went to like a med school or something like that. Calc was never my thing, certainly. But it seems scary to try something new like this, in part because it's a new tech thing, and in part because it's live. And I was talking with a friend of mine. He's actually my coach, and I have my own coach. I found it enormously helpful. It helps me see when I have blinders on, and point out errors in my thinking that I couldn't spot for myself. And one thing I found is that my self-limiting belief about doing live Q&As like this was that I was afraid it wouldn't go perfectly. And if it wouldn't go perfectly, then it would automatically have gone terribly, and I would look bad, and this would be something that's on record out there in the world for everybody to see. And I realized that it doesn't need to be perfect, that the things I've created so far, they're great, they're useful. I would even go as far to say is they're pretty amazing, the stuff that I've created. And I don't say that to like toot my own horn, but because I really have seen the results that my students get. And you can go read them in the LSAT diaries. Like, I don't pay enough attention to those myself because I just move on to the next thing. And I'm focused on helping the current student, not the one who's already gotten the score increase. But people find my stuff helpful, even though it's not perfect. Even though it's not perfect, it's still good enough, or maybe even great enough. And so I realized that even if my YouTube live Q&As weren't going to be perfect, as you can see, I just misspoke, so obviously I'm not perfect, that they would still be helpful, and that would be good enough. And if one didn't go well, there's always the next one. And I think that holds true for the LSAT also. My self-limiting belief, and it might be yours too, is what if it doesn't go as well as I want it to? And for me, I want it to be perfect. What if it just goes good, or just goes great, or even just goes okay? Turns out there's always the next one. Just like there's always the chance for me to do another live Q&A, there's always the chance for you to take another LSAT exam, to retake. So my request for you is take this upcoming LSAT like it's not the real thing. Like, it's not the end all be all. I mean, obviously it matters. You put a lot of work in right now up to this point, and I certainly hope it goes well, and I'm sure you do too, even more so. But if it doesn't go well, you always have a next opportunity to do things better. So I would encourage you, keep that in the back of your mind. If this exam doesn't go great, there's always one a few months away, or less even. So you could focus and reorient yourself towards that and aim to do better the next time.